So, what happens when one of the world's biggest brands decides to use cutting edge AI for its big Christmas ad? You'd think it would be a smash hit, right? Well, in this case, it turned into an absolute public relations nightmare. We're going to dig into exactly what went wrong. Okay, get this. That's a real comment posted by a real person about a brand new Christmas ad from McDonald's. So, how on earth did a festive campaign from a fast food giant get a reaction that strong? Let's get into it. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the ad itself, the scene of the crime. Then we'll dive straight into the public backlash to see why people got so upset. From there, we'll check out how the companies responded, zoom out to look at the bigger picture of AI and ads, and finally, we'll tackle that huge question. What does this all mean for the future? First things first, let's talk about the campaign at the heart of this whole firestorm. This was meant to be a fun, modern Christmas ad, but it went sideways, and it went sideways fast. So here are the nuts and bolts. On December 6th, McDonald's in the Netherlands dropped a 45-second ad made completely with generative AI. The concept was actually pretty clever, a funny take on how chaotic the holidays can be, with McDonald's being the simple escape from, and I quote, the most terrible time of the year. On paper, it sounds fine, right? Well, it did not land. Not at all. The public reaction was immediate and just overwhelmingly negative. And it all really boiled down to three key things. Okay, first, the visuals. People straight up called the characters creepy and uncanny looking. You know that feeling, the uncanny valley, where something looks almost human but just isn't? Yeah, it was that. Second, the technical side. AI video tools can only create really short clips right now, so the final ad was just a bunch of these stitched together, and viewers noticed, calling it poorly edited. But the third one, and this is probably the biggest one, was the ethics. People immediately saw this and thought, wait, where are the actors, the directors, the camera crews? It felt like creative professionals were being erased by tech. And this comment from an Instagram user just perfectly captures that fear. This wasn't just about a weird-looking ad. For so many people, this felt like a direct threat to their jobs and to the whole craft of filmmaking. The reaction was so strong because the implications felt so real. So, with the ad getting absolutely slammed online, the companies involved obviously had to respond. But their responses were, well, they were surprisingly different. McDonald's acted pretty quickly. Just 3 days after it went live, on December 9th, they pulled the video. Gone. Their official statement was classic corporate damage control, framing the whole thing as an experiment. They called it an important learning as they try to figure out AI. You know the drill. But the production company, the Sweet Shop, they had a very different story. Their CEO pushed back, hard. She defended the huge amount of human work that went into it, saying the team worked for 7 weeks, hardly slept, and made thousands of takes. And her biggest point was this. This wasn't an AI trick. It was a film. She was arguing that AI was just another tool, but that real human creativity and sweat were still the engine behind it all. Okay, let's zoom out for a minute. This McDonald's ad didn't happen in a vacuum. It's actually part of a much bigger and, much more divisive trend that's sweeping through the ad world. And what's so wild is that using AI is a total gamble. You've got a brand like Coca-Cola, which has now used AI for its Christmas ad 2 years in a row and gotten a pretty warm reception. But then a luxury brand like Valentino tries it and gets absolutely roasted for a campaign that critics called cheap and lazy. It really proves that the technology alone isn't some kind of magic wand. And the data actually backs this up. According to the analytics firm Social Sprout, Coke's latest AI ad managed to get a 61% positive sentiment rating online. So it is possible to get this right. It shows you can do it. The big question is, what was the secret sauce that McDonald's was missing? And that leads us right into our final section. And honestly, the massive question that's just hanging over this entire story. What does all of this actually mean for the future? So here's the bottom line. The ad industry is caught between a rock and a hard place. On one side, you've got AI offering insane speed, efficiency, and a cool novelty factor. But on the other side, there's this huge risk that you're going to weird out your audience, or even worse, look like you're trying to devalue the very human creativity that makes an ad great in the first place. And that leaves us with this final, really provocative question. As AI becomes more and more common, is it going to give us better, more incredible ads? Or are we just heading for a future that's full of what some people are already calling creepy slop? The McDonald's experiment definitely doesn't give us the answer, but it absolutely shows us just how high the stakes are.